We are live on Facebook. Let's see if we're live on Instagram. And Josh, I don't think is coming on, so. But maybe Monday, he said he might come and join us. We'll see. He might be too tired to get up. All right, we are live on Instagram. All right. Good morning, good morning. It's Saturday.
Good morning.
Study hall time.
That's right. And if you're thinking it's Monday because I'm here, you're forgotten. It's not.
Or you think that Josh has decided to look different and shorter.
That's right. Josh is not here today. I am.
Woohoo! I'm so glad too, because it's so much easier to do live when there's somebody to banter with and engage with. So, good morning, everybody. I'm just going to wait a few seconds for everyone to come on in, say good morning, hit that like button and share button. We appreciate it. And we got all these wonderful stars behind us. There's a reason why JoAnn's here. Just saying, giving you a little teaser. Yeah, I'm excited about it. Hey there, Miss TC in YouTube land. Thanks for joining this morning. Hope you're doing well. TC is a friend of mine from Knoxville, Tennessee.
Aha.
We have everybody from the world out now. And we have Tennesseans. We have Omahans. Is that a word? Omahans? Idahoans.
The Omaha.
We now declare it a word. The word.
Yeah, if you're in Florida, Omahans. I can't say it. But it works.
So if you're wondering, Josh is at Baby Lock Tech. He is with Maria. They are so excited to be there. They posted pictures yesterday on the Facebook group.
Oh, did they? Have to go look at it.
Yeah, they're grinning ear to ear, so that they're excited to be there.
Mm-hmm. They must be seeing all kinds of new stuff that's really exciting and
I hope
learning
so.
new things.
I can't wait. So they'll be back on Thursday, I think, and we'll get to hear all the information there. But Josh is going to try to go live a little bit while he's there. Keyword try, but he's going to try. So, he says we're pumped. He is there.
Oh, wow. He's here.
Watching. Yeah.
Good morning, Josh.
Good morning, Josh. Hey, Louise. Good morning to you. So come on in, everybody. We got study hall. We're going to talk about the rest of the classes for August. August ends this coming week. Where has this year gone? It's like the end of August. One more week in August.
I am exhausted from going through life so fast.
It's supposed to slow down when we get to this point, right?
I know, but it's not.
They lied. They lied. Good morning, Maria. Maria's watching too from St. Louis. And good morning, Joyce. And there's an hour difference too in St. Louis. So they might be just crawling out of bread. No, they're out of breakfast. Yeah. They're committed to get up and running. So this is study hall. We do this every Saturday morning. And the whole purpose of this live is to focus on our classes and events. We are the last week of August. So I'm going to share some of the last week of August events. And then we're going to talk about September a little bit. So first of all, last week is always one of our biggest club weeks. We have Serger Club. We have Hump Day Hooper Club. Yeah, that's an embroidery club, if you don't know what that means. Have you been to the embroidery club yet?
No.
I've just put her on the spot.
My embroidery is so lacking in ability that I'm staying away from the club for now.
Well, see, that's what the club's for, though.
I know.
The club is to kind of be inspired, learn new techniques, also to learn just the basics of needles and stabilizers and ask questions. Cindy, who hosts it, is amazing knowledge. And of course, Maria's here. Well, Maria's normally here. She's not here this week. So the club is more really to help you feel confident to use your machine in different ways.
Is the club where they were doing the t-shirts last week? Or is that different?
No, that's different. That was not a club. That was actually a class. That was a Serger class.
Person who?
Nope.
No. Okay. Never.
Nope. Cindy does the Serger Club and she does the embroidery club. Okay. So she, the Serger Club, you will meet Judy because she does come to that on Tuesday as well. So Serger Club is Tuesday morning. Hump Day Hoopers is Wednesday morning. That's the name, Hump Day Hoopers. Okay. So
Toni comes up with all these names. They're just flowing out of her brain.
That was a Cindy name. Good morning, Angelina. Good morning, Jill. I'm seeing what all the comments are saying. And Louise is excited for them. All right. So we got Serger Club, Hump Day Club. Oh, and Take a Stand. So this is a class. There's only 3 spots left of this. This is Christy's series. Kind of what she's wrapping up her summer with is this project. Have you done one of these yet? Okay.
No.
I am putting JoAnn. I don't mean to put you on the spot.
No, I am a quilter.
Oh, that's right. You did say that. You are a quilter.
The bag thing is just beyond me.
But I don't have time to do bags, so I buy bags made by RJ. So we've got this take a stand bag. This is the smaller version. The bigger version will hold a featherweight or a small entry level machine. Yeah. And it opens up squarely. So there's plenty of access to all the pockets inside. And there's outside zipper pockets. And it's got this little wonderful over the shoulder strap. So you can go away. So but we have 3 spots available in that. That is Thursday all day.
And if you're a bag person, this just looks awesome. I like this. If anyone wants to make one of these, but they don't want one, I'll provide the fabric.
There you go. There you go. I'm sure what this is for. What would this be for, Christy, if you're watching? Christy will be here in a minute. I don't understand what that little loopy thing's for, but I'm sure there's a purpose. I'm sure there's a purpose.
Too small for a water bottle, isn't it?
Yeah. I wonder if it's like to hang on an umbrella.
Oh.
I don't know. We'll ask Christy when she gets here. Morning, Denise. Good to see you this morning. I'm so hot. So this is Thursday Thursday all day. It wraps up Christy's series, but Christy's got some more classes we're working on for the fall. So watch our calendar as we start adding a couple more things going on this fall. I am working on my scrap thing. I've got the date set. It's just not on the calendar yet. But my question is, you've done a lot of talking on morning quilt talk about scraps and stuff lately, which I really appreciate. What do you want if you went to a scrap event, fabric scrap event? What would you want to learn? What would you be curious? Is it organization? Is it more project ideas? Is it quilt ideas?
Me personally?
Yeah.
I think that the biggest thing with scrap quilts, and as I watch people do them and I watch them kind of grow into making scrap quilts, is putting together fabrics. There are those people who will just have a box and they'll just pull stuff out and they just keep putting things together. And sometimes it looks really good and sometimes it doesn't.
True.
So I think that really understanding what makes a good scrap quilt as far as fabric and fabric collection is helpful.
So I'm hearing color placement, like
not even color placement as much. And some, that depends upon the design itself. But do you need a fabric that kind of holds it, kind of grounds the quilt? Or do you, for me, I know that if I use red, brown, blue, and a background, those quilts always turn out great. And maybe throw in some gold or some green or whatever. But I tend to stay within a color
palette.
Within a color palette, and that way I don't have tons of fabric. And understanding the difference between a neutral and a neutral print,
right?
Because a neutral print can really pull your eye, whereas a neutral is supposed to kind of soften the quilt a little bit.
I get that. That makes a lot of sense. That was great information. Thanks. So what would you want to know? What other kind of scrap ideas would you want to know? Because I'm designing my 3-day event. I'm gonna have JoAnn and Cindy come in one of the afternoons and just share some more information, some tips and tricks and stuff. So I'm just curious though, because yesterday I was talking to a friend and she was asking me all sorts of questions. I'm like, oh, I didn't think about that. Oh, I didn't think about that. When I go scrap diving, I just grab my scraps, cut them, find a pattern and make it work, or I like to do little projects. I think it's more fun to use your scraps for little projects. But she was talking about how to make her own fabric, and
yes, those are very cool.
I thought, well, that's kind of fun.
Yes, it is. And you can make 10-inch square. You just take your scraps and use them however they are. You can cut them if you want, but you can use them however they are. And take a 10-inch, make just 10-inch squares that you end up using like you would a layer cake. Nice.
Very nice. So I've got a lot of ideas, but I'm just curious what else you might be interested in. So I make sure I hit those points when I start planning and writing this out. Louise says organization, because we tend to just throw scraps into a bag or such, and they all mixed up. That's me. Now it takes time to sort through and organize them. So one of the other things I had learned over the last couple of weeks is taking care of your scraps as you're doing your projects. That's called that's a mindset you have to learn to do, a habit. every time you finish a project, because I always save everything until the end in case I have to repair a block or I need extra for binding. But when the project's done, the quilt's bound or the project's bound, cut that stuff up or organize it, light starts or whatever.
And then there's always for those things that are left over, if you have enough. I know that I typically will buy way too much fabric for any given quilt. Don't tell my husband.
He's watching, isn't he?
No, not today. But you can always do after quilts. You have the quilt that you made, and then you take what you've got left and you use that in more of a scrap quilt type of setting and do what Karen Brown calls an after quilt.
I love that after quilt.
Yeah.
Quilt. So, but if you don't mind, just put what your thoughts are on scraps and quilting with them or using them or not using them. If you don't use scraps and you want to donate, I know lots of people that would take them. I only keep my Tula scraps. I donate all my scraps out. But that's just the way I roll.
Well, I think that's not a bad idea. That way you're not, because the really frustrating thing is to save all your scraps. And then you look at this box, you start out with a little basket, and then you go to a bigger box, and you go to a bigger box, and then you've got these bins full of scraps, and you don't know what to do with them.
So anyway, that's coming up in November. I will put it on the calendar probably in the next week or so once I get it all nailed down. What else do we want to talk about? Oh, so Embracing Embroidery is this Friday and Saturday, and it is full. So that we're excited about that because we've got some product to show. I can't talk about what we've got to show for the event, but the event's gonna be great. If you missed the sign up, go ahead and put your name on the wait list just in case we have to call somebody at the last minute and be ready and available for that, because it normally happens. Normally by Wednesday, somebody says, "Oh, I can't do it. I'm sick," or things happen. So if you're still interested in learning more about all the different embroidery availability in the machines that we have from Baby Lock, and we get to hear all the news from Baby Lock Tech. I'm so excited. So excited. Hopefully we get to see some really good stuff about the new machine. Actually, there's 3, but the main new machine. Scraps are good for collage quilting too. Joshua, you are correct. He is right.
He is right.
So that August, that's it. August is over with then. That's this week. That's all we got left. But September comes in like a lion. We've got Quilt Jacksonville Quilt Fest. Don't forget, we still have tickets. You can get senior tickets at $14 and $15 for a general admission. They're good for any day. So if you want to go all 3 days, you have to buy 3 tickets. That kind of mindset. Free parking. And lots of vendors. They have almost 50 vendors this year. This is very exciting for us. And of course, we're going to be there. We've got lots of exciting things. We've got lots of things planned for.
Yeah, it sounds, when Josh talks about it, it sounds like that whole side of the room is going to be cut up and sew.
It will be. We're going to own.
That's right.
Half of it. I get in trouble if I say own half of it. We got Arrow. We got Caterpillar. We got AccuQuilt. We've got the store. We'll have a lot of fun.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a lot of fun. So that's the 19th, 20th, and 21st, and then we go into the September's also our charity for Sewing for Charity month. We're collecting pillowcases just like we did last year. We collected about 500 pillowcases in September to go towards the Ryan's Case for Pillows, Ryan's Case for Smiles pillowcase challenge. They wanted to collect 40,000 pillowcases in the month of September last year. I know they did it, but Joshua has put a goal of 1,000 this year.
Wow.
So I'm telling you now, because you have a week, 2 or 3 weeks before our actually sew-in. So start making those pillowcases now and dropping them off, and then they'll go towards our pillowcase count of 1,000. We want
so
1,000.
Here at the shop, will you have kits to put them together, or do people need to bring their fabric, or how does that work?
Both.
Okay.
So we do have some kits available. Just because it is a charitable organization, we do ask for a little donation. Well, it's for Ryan's Case for Smiles, but you also can use your own. And we got lots of sale fabric, so yeah, it's always a good time to get that sale fabric. But our sit and sew party will be the 28th of September. And we'll have the scissor sharpener guy here again. And maybe we can get Tobine's coffee here. We haven't talked to her yet, but we'll talk to her to see if she can come out. But so we're starting to collect those pillowcases. Keep that in the back of your mind as you start going through your fabrics, or you have pillowcases you've been holding on that you forgot to drop off, because that happens too. I'm not going to call anybody out on that one, though. Denise, what do you guys want to see from Baby Lock Tech? Joshua wants to know. Put a comment in the comments for him to read, and we're curious what you want to know. TC on YouTube says, I sew my outer triangles on flying geese, so when I cut them off, I can go ahead and sew. It can go into sewed scraps. Oh, that's smart.
Mm-hmm.
She sews her, the extra triangle off of her flying geese.
Right.
Yeah, that's one of the techniques I'm going to talk about too.
Mm-hmm.
So again, thinking ahead.
The bonus triangles.
Yes, the bonus triangles. Yep. Denise says, I took the leftover fabric from our quilting as you go runner and added it to a quilt I made for a wedding shower gift. That's awesome. That's thinking forward, you know. That's a great way to use your fabric, Denise. Thanks for sharing that.
I think one of the things that I've seen here at this shop more than I've ever seen before is that people are already taking their scraps and using them. And I love seeing that because I'm not very good at that. But it's just a really good thing to see, and it's a good thing as a role model for people like me who don't do that, but I see it being done, and I see it being done successfully. I mean, they're nice, beautiful quilts. So thank you for those people who are.
I also think it's a mindset. It's a value. You spent money on this fabric.
Yeah.
You need to. I would think you would want to use it all.
Yes.
That's why I save it. I don't do anything with it.
Yeah,
I'm going to change that.
That's exactly what Bonnie Hunter always said. Is she would, when you went to one of her classes, she would hold up scraps and she would say, "This fabric here costs just as much as the 2 yards you bought it at the store."
Yeah.
So there's value in those scraps.
Right. I just think we think of everything being disposable. So I think that's just a cultural thing. So
yeah, I think you're right.
Good morning, Jody. So the other thing that I want to talk about for September is the Lone Star class. Miss JoAnn is teaching that over 3 weeks, 4 weeks, something like that.
3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
We haven't decided yet.
It's not going to be the Friday of the show, but it'll be on.
Well, it can be. And what I decided, the shop will be open that Friday. And what I had decided was that if people wanted if they were going to go to the show on either Thursday or Saturday, or they weren't going to go at all, and they wanted to have a class on Friday, then I would do that. And if
Nice.
then we wouldn't do it that Friday. But I got to tell you, I am so excited about this class because it used to be that when you did a Lone Star quilt, you would cut out all these little diamonds. And then you'd sew all those little diamonds together. And if you were really good, it would come together. And if you weren't, it didn't. Maybe it became a box. So anyway, but this is not done like this. And these are all done in strip sets. And so you make strip sets. Then you cut the strip set into diamonds, and then you sew those strip sets together. So it comes together pretty nicely. It is not a beginner quilt. There are challenges to it. So if you're looking for something that's going to challenge you just a little bit, but it's going to turn out really nicely, then you've come to the right place. The first class will be actually looking at how do you take your fabric and put it together. Now, this one is obviously a scrap quilt. This was done with jelly roll. And so this, with a jelly roll, you don't really think too much about where your fabrics are, except for trying to make sure you've got something that's going to turn into a star in the center. And that's about it. Now, this one, on the other hand, there's a very definite pattern to this, so that this traditional burst circle that is in the traditional quilts, you want to make sure that gets in the correct place, and you want to use fabrics that are going to show up for that burst. This one is another. I like this one better.
Oh,
so this is a smaller size, and this you can make just on its own to do a little wall hanging, or you can use this size to make. You can make 9 just this size, depending upon how committed you are to the Lone Star. You can make 9 of these and turn them into a really cool quilt. And so this one uses 1.5-inch strips, and these two both use 2.5-inch strips, and then plus the background. And this one, if you happen to come in the shop and look at it and you see that there's just this one big square here. Yes, that is true, but that's not how I'm going to teach it. If you look at the other ones, there's actually a seam right here and a seam here, so that you're not doing any set-in seams. It's all pieced pretty much like this. You do your diamond and you put these triangles on either side, and then you sew them together so that you're not doing set-in seams. You're not cutting individual diamonds. You're just going to turn up with a great quilt. And so, like I said, we spend the first class designing how you want your quilt to look, and then figuring out how much fabric you need for that. We're going to actually look at the fabrics you've brought and see how they go together and put them together so that it's a pleasing display. And then we'll start doing the diamonds from there.
Nice. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I did the Eleanor Byrne way of a long so I marked every 1/4 inch on mine.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you're going to talk about?
You know, I have found there are a couple of ways of doing it. You can do the stitch and hope way, where you put your strips together and hope that they come together just right. And or you can mark them. I have found that marking the top, like if this is my diamond here, I don't have an individual one, but if this were my diamond here and I were putting these two strips together here, I would pin the top one up here and the bottom one, and then they usually come together. Most of the time, even with the stitch and hope, you know, I know people who will want to make sure that every single seam matches. So if you want every single seam to match, you probably need to pin it. I have other people who, as long as it looks decent, you know, it's one of those, well, if I can't see it on a galloping horse from 30 feet, it's fine. So
that's my philosophy.
Yeah, so it works wherever you are.
That's really cool. So I didn't even look to see how many spots you still had left open, but it is filling up. And you're taking 10 students, I think, this time, right?
Yeah.
So that's good. So if you're interested in learning this, and Joshua's been saying a lot over the last couple months actually, is challenge yourself, step into something a little more advanced. And if you don't like it, you don't like it, but at least take that step and try it out. And JoAnn's a great teacher, and it's going to be a good class. I've seen some of the students that are in there already. Joshua says those quilts are stunning, JoAnn.
Thank you very much.
And here's the other cool thing with JoAnn. She uses her leftover pieces for borders. So I'm sure she's going to talk about how she used her scraps here. And then you can't see it on this one very well, but there's a little strip of it on the bottom of that one too. So I'm sure she'll talk about that as well. Pretty exciting.
Mm-hmm. It should be really fun. And you know, just give it, if you're interested in the Texas Star or the Lone Star, whichever you want to call it. It'll be a fun class.
Yep. Or as we say, New York in a snowstorm. Oh, so Karen was saying, if you can't see the mistakes in a snowstorm, it's good to go.
Oh, I like that.
I like this.
I don't know that many people in Florida can
relate. Well, that's not true. Most people in Florida are not from Florida.
That's true.
We've all been, well, you're from California, so maybe not.
No, I'm from Washington, D.C.
Oh, that's right. We had this. Anyway. Whoop, squirrel. So, anything else to add? Do we know what we're doing in October yet? Is that the convergence, or are we doing something different yet?
I'm thinking of doing something that's more autumn looking, like maybe a leaf or pumpkin, something. You know, the last 2 quilts I've done have been more complicated, and I think my students, the ones who are kind of regulars, are getting tired.
And maybe a smaller project just to finish to use right away. That might be a good idea.
Something that kind of is an autumn feel to it, and easy to do.
That's a great idea. Great idea. I live in New York, but I have visited your shop. Wow. Thank you, Karen. That's very kind of you. So hopefully you'll come down and visit us again the next time you're in town. So that is pretty much it for classes and events over the last week of August going into September. We will be back Monday morning at 9:00 without Josh. Well, maybe Josh. Josh said he might try to come in. We'll see. We're not going to hold him to it. Yeah. But we've got really kind of a neat thing we're going to do on Monday. So we encourage you to set your alarms, set your timers, and say 9:00 Eastern time. We're going to be right here live. And we've got lots of new fabric. I'm dying to show it to you, but I'm being really good because I want other people to see it first. yours. But we'll show you Monday. We got so much new fabric in. Plus, we're gonna do something really cool on Monday morning. So, what's Joshua? He's like crossing his fingers, saying that he might be on Monday. So that'd be cool.
Oh, I thought maybe he's crossing his fingers to say, "Well, I hope it's good."
He knows it's good. He knows it's good. And see, Denise is like thumbs up. All right. Does anybody have any? Well, we didn't do a QA, but my Q&A question was: do you have anything you want to share of what you would like to learn more about managing your scraps or using your scraps? Just leave a comment. I'll go back and look at all the comments this weekend. I think that's it.
Okay.
Do you have anything else?
I don't.
You don't have to say anything fun unless you really want to.
Oh, thank you.
I
did not come prepared today.
You did. You came prepared for what you were for. So you guys have a great weekend, and we'll see you Monday at 9. And class is dismissed. Bye.
Bye. So, are you leaving?